My name's Trevor Joseph, you're watching Rolling Slow Media, and today I got the opportunity to go out for a drive in this beautiful Lotus Evora 410 Sport Grand Prix Edition. Now this one belongs to Akheam, who is going to take me out for a little drive in it, and off camera we were talking about this car, and this car kind of rivals the Porsche Cayman GT4. So if there are any GT4 owners, I'd love to be able to compare both cars. So if you are a GT4 owner, come on the channel, let's take it out for a spin. But today, we're gonna go out in Akheam's one and see what it's like. Stay locked, guys, it's gonna be a good one.
Good, comfortable in it.
Let's do this.
Well,
Yeah.
Welcome to Modern Lotus.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking me out for a little spin in this, what has to be a Cayman GT4 rival.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Probably. It's about sort of similar money, give or take.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in a GT4, but on paper, these look quite similar, sort of 400-ish brake. 0 to 60, what was it like 3.5, 4 seconds?
Yeah, so yeah, somewhere around 4, just under 4.
And they sort of top out about 170, 180 miles an hour. Not that you've done that.
Well, no, of course not.
on the old German autobahns, if you get a chance. As this Alpine stereo, does that come standard, or is that something you fitted?
Yeah, so it comes with one standard, but because it uses all the same connections in the back, you can upgrade it. So I've actually upgraded this one,
right?
Which is one of it's one of the benefits of it, is that if Alpine bring out a new one, you buy the new one, you stick it in there.
Yeah.
So when I started, I didn't have wireless Apple CarPlay, and now I do.
Oh, so you upgraded it to the wireless Apple CarPlay?
Yeah. So when I bought the car, I just checked what's the newest one.
It's nice, man. Really like the interior. I like the Alcantara. They've went to town on the Alcantara.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So that's this is so they in this version, the Sport 410.
Yeah.
They really try to go for the sort of more track focused setup.
Yeah.
And so you can see that in quite a lot of the components of the car. They were looking to bring the weight of the car down.
Right. So it's more track focused than the standard model.
Yeah. So the best way, you're a Porsche guy, so the best way to describe it. So the standard base car is a 911.
Yeah.
This is a GT3. And then there's one additional car above this, which is the GT430. So that's a RS.
Nice.
Yep.
And these come with is it 3.5 litre engine from Toyota?
Yep.
So what did they do to the? I mean, obviously they didn't just take the standard engine and just dunk it in, right? Like, what sort of mods or what did they do? Yeah.
So Lotus put in new cams, new exhaust manifold, and they also put in some additional sensors and stuff. They also charge cool the engine,
right?
And then apply an Edelbrock supercharger. So that takes, I think the standard engine is about 260.
Yeah. So
there is a version of the Evora that just uses that original engine, which is about 260. But with all the changes, they can get it up to 410, and then even up to 430. And there's a company in Germany called Comotech. They can take you all the way up to 475.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's
nice in such a light package. How much does this weigh? Do you know roughly?
So these cars, the Sport 410 cars, because they added all this carbon fiber and Alcantara and stuff. So this car, the dry weight of this car was 1280 kilos.
Right.
So wet will be just over 1300 kilos. Yeah, it's one of those cars where it's weight sensitive enough in that a full tank or a half tank of fuel, you can feel it.
Right.
You can feel that in the steering. You can feel it in the weight transfer of the car as you go through a corner. Almost like that type of race car level thing, as a race car loses fuel, it gains
Like you can feel it getting lighter.
Yeah, you can feel the performance coming to the car as it
That's something you don't feel in a hatchback. You know?
Well, because
you know,
it's a different world, you know, in the modern hatches and stuff. You know, they've put additional investment into trying to, you know, remove that type of thing from you. They don't want you to have to think about that.
All right, let's go for a little burn.
Let's go.
Guys, I'm looking forward to this, honestly. This thing sounds sweet.
Well, I think the noise is what surprises people.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to encapsulate the noise on camera.
Yeah. It so is.
And because they haven't made many of these cars, you know, your chances of seeing one in real life is quite small. So when people do get a chance to see it and hear it, they sort of go, you don't really expect this noise to come out of it. Particularly when you hear that it's a Toyota engine, you don't think this.
You know, it feels like a track car.
You can feel it, right?
Yeah, you can feel
the competence in this, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a passive setup suspension-wise, so it's just been set up from the factory to cope with UK roads.
Yeah, right.
You know,
can you dial in any kind of settings yourself? Do you have the option to do that?
So you can do geo.
Yeah.
The ride height, etc., are fixed on these because these are Bilstein dampers.
Right. Okay.
But you can add additional tow, etc., if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a slightly different track setup. There are a few companies that sort of specialize in doing adjustments to it. And the suspension on the car, it's double wishbone at all four corners, so it's, you know, we're talking high quality stuff here in terms of, and that's the thing with a Lotus. The money in the car has gone underneath.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can really feel that pull from the 3.5 litre.
Yeah.
And because it's supercharged, there's no like lag and then kick in, is there? It's just so linear.
It's linear, it's predictable, it's consistent, which is what I always favour a supercharger.
Yeah.
Because you can just you can be confident in how that power is going to come on and how the car is going to behave. And the nice thing about the Lotuses is that they're actually very friendly cars because they talk to you.
So, you get a nice feedback from the road, from the steering.
Yeah, and it's information. It's not overloading you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever driven an Alpha 4C.
No.
And so that's a car where it you know, they talk about steering feel.
Yeah.
And they talk about the car talking to you. An Alpha 4C shouts at you. It's telling you, it's going, it's left, right, it's left, right. The Lotus is going, hey, by the way, there's a slightly off camber here, so you might want to just, you know, maybe not stick your foot into it too much.
Yeah.
You know, it wants to help you.
This feels really comfortable as well, you know.
This is what it's people.
Really comfortable.
This surprises the two things that surprise people the most about this car is the noise.
Yeah.
And then how comfortable it is. And I had a feeling you would say that coming from your 997.
Yeah, which I've ruined by lowering it to the ground.
I mean, it looks really good, but I imagine over a rough couple roads.
Yeah.
You know.
I think these seats may get a little bit uncomfortable on a really long trip. I might have to put a few pillows in.
Well, I've got one if you need one.
Yeah, doing it right there. Oh, jeez, that pulls, bro.
Yeah, that mid-range on this car is so...
Woo.
It's really strong. And it's because it's a relatively light car, it's dynamic, it just feels like it has very low inertia.
And what tyres are you running on these? And what's the wheel size setup?
So it's 20s in the rear, 19s up front.
Okay.
Standard, they come on Cup 2s.
Yeah.
But I've got Pilot Sport 4S's on these.
And did you have Cup 2s before?
Originally the car had Cup 2s.
Okay.
But you know, the Cup 2 is a very tricky tire to sort of live with. They have a very short lifespan.
Yeah.
And their operation window is quite narrow.
Right.
Particularly for the UK.
So when you switch tires, could you feel a difference in the car's performance, like its grip and handling?
You know, I'll be honest, not really. Mainly because where that difference happens is at such a high level of performance.
Right, yeah.
On the road.
You've got to be on the ragged edge.
Yeah, you're not there. So I think you have to be on a track to really feel the difference between the Cup 2 and a Pilot Sport 4S. I've always found that the Pilot Sport 4Ss were more than adequate for fast road driving.
Yeah.
Which is what I do primarily.
Have you been on a track with this?
Not this car.
No.
Most of the track stuff I've done actually was back when I used to have BMW.
Yeah, okay.
So I had an M2 that I tracked a few times.
Okay.
But to be fair, I prefer to track other people's cars.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I like when you can just turn up and they say, oh yeah, have a go in this one, have a go in that one.
What was the M2 like actually? Because I really like those cars. From an outsider, those cars look like such a great sort of all-round track, road, you know, take the kids to school, go shopping type of car.
Do everything, right?
Yeah.
Now I actually still have a soft spot for the M2 really. Every time I see one I go, oh look at M2. It's for a video.
Yeah. Oh god. I really enjoyed today's adventure in this car. Like,
well, as I said, if you're into cars, it's a hard car not to enjoy.
Yeah, it definitely is a hard car not to enjoy. Like, guys, we're gonna end the video here. Akheam, thank you so much for taking me out for a spin. All I can say is, if there's anyone out there with a Cayman GT4 and would like to compare that car to this, please hit me up on the channel. You can also get me on Instagram, Rolling Slow Media, because yeah, it would be nice to compare the two. On paper, they look identical in terms of their performance, but I think when it comes to an owner review, it's about the owner, it's about the wow factor. You know, it's about how a car makes you feel. So I know that this makes Akheam feel like a racing car driver.
Can you tell?
Yeah. And yeah, it's nice being a passenger in this. So yeah, so it'd be nice to see what a Cayman GT4 would be like. So yeah, any owners, hit me up. We'll do a review and we'll see how much it makes you smile and makes me smile. Anyway, thank you again for locking in, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care, peace. Bro, big ups, man. That was tidy. This car's sick, man. Loving it. Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Cool.